and I fired in a bet. This is habitual.
This is what frustrated Brunson. Oh, whoa. That's, excuse me, that should be a flagrant one. I can understand why Brunson, and then Wendy's laughing at it, and Brunson's got to be smart. He can't retaliate because that would be his second foul.
Yeah, he missed it. No question about it.
Your body language, the tone and timbre of your voice, the enunciation had a very overwhelming stench of negativity.
I'll tell you what, I'll sit out that 10 minutes and let you guys just...
No, because you got to tell us where we're right and where we're wrong at the end.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little, this is The Morning Rush. And now, your league leaders in golf trips and vacations. Here are your hosts, Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Well, that's my beef. We're not doing the show today from a golf course. If we're going to lead the league, then we need to, by God, lead the league in golf trips. And what else was that? Golf trips and something else.
I missed it. I'm going to pull you. I missed the open. What did it say?
It said for the show that leads the league in golf trips and vacations. That's partially true, but not entirely true. And listen, if we're going to be accused, let's be guilty. All right, that would be my beef right off the bat.
I guess my beef is I didn't use up enough of my vacation initially, so now my coworkers just assume that me actually taking advantage of my PTO is that I'm going over, which in fact I've just saved up the last 5 or so years.
Yeah. Bunch of it expires tomorrow, by the way.
No, none of it expires tomorrow. We've been over that.
New policy started today. That's going to be your beef by the end of this show. What's your beef Wednesday? Brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. If you like to grill, and I grilled last weekend. I smoked. Smoking and grilling, two different things, but you still get the great stuff from Richard's. Get a brisket. I put a brisket on, a brisket flat. And if you're wanting to do something, because it was going to be a rainy, nasty weekend, so, that's what it is. All right, we're going to get on the grill this weekend. If you've got a weekend like that coming up, and Father's Day is just around the corner, Richard's Country Meat Market has everything that's grill ready to wow. And don't forget the sides. I made some beans that were unbelievable this weekend. Some cowboy beans. They've got everything you need. I put a little hamburger meat in it, put some bacon in it. They were really good. You can get all the sides that you need there. They'll make it all up for you, whether it's beans or their potato salad, spinach artichoke dip, and more. Richard's Country Meat Market, already making me hungry. 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville and online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
All right, so we do need rain here in the state, and
we
have dry summers. We've had a lot lately. I think my beef is when it occurs, when the drops fall. Why does it time out on the weekends? Now, I know we're going to see some throughout the next few days leading in to the weekend, but part of why you work, similar to why you work out so you can eat what you want. You work so you get to the weekends, and especially with no Arkansas football, basketball, or baseball, this is our time to be a little more flexible, a little more malleable. Do whatever. Mm-hmm. So when stuff happens, like you were talking about not doing much this past weekend, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of frustrating because, again, you put in the hours you do so you can have the fun stuff on the weekends. But when rain ruins the party, whether you're in Arkansas or elsewhere, it's not so fun. So rain, if you're going to come during the week. Come when I don't care. Monday's already bad enough. Might as well rain. Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Just don't do it on the weekends.
I'm looking at Saturday's forecast, and there is, about an inch of rain in the forecast here in northwest Arkansas, but all of it's like after 4 o'clock. So, in the afternoon. So just because it's going to rain in the day doesn't mean it's going to rain all day. But I hear you. You get to the weekend, you want to enjoy it. And, then Mother Nature has another plan. So. Is it going to rain tonight in New York City inside Madison Square Garden?
Lots of threes,
Colton's
maybe.
Knicks? Is it going to rain threes or is it going to rain some tears?
Well,
it would be interesting.
It won't
would be interesting if the road team won all 4 of the first 4. That would be an interesting thing.
I would venture to say that it's never happened before.
I don't know. I mean, maybe one of you guys can do the research on that, but has there ever been an NBA final series, or any 7-game series? Hockey, the Stanley Cup going on right now, it was on last night, or the World Series where the road team has won the first 4, games 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4.
Colton, you have a homework assignment early on in the show.
Yeah.
See if you can figure that out.
I'm already Googling, boys. I'm way ahead of you.
Okay. Now you can respond to this, Colton, because this is another beef of mine. We'll continue to take yours on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. Knicks fans, I really do enjoy the excitement level, the first time in the finals since 1999, just their passion for New York Knicks basketball. Some have been waiting since 1973 to hang up another banner. But the post-game things that have occurred, the atrocities where they just beat up Spurs fans in New York or in other places, it just has to stop. There's no reason. Like, I've seen fights break out in SEC venues, in NFL venues, and other sporting venues, but there's no reason to beat someone up or gang up on someone 20-2 just because they are supporting the other team. That has to end. It's not going to. You're going to see fights again tonight if the Spurs take it. I don't mind player fights in hockey and football, basketball from time to time, just because I don't want the guys to like each other. But when fans get into it, especially after their team loses and they pick on another fan base that only has like 2 or 3 guys to defend themselves, and hopefully a lady's not involved in this, but just that's gross, and it needs to stop.
How do you know those Spurs fans weren't chirping, weren't jawing, weren't saying stuff
doesn't-
like New
that
York?
doesn't give you-
Does that
That does
justify
not
a
give you
fight?
that does not give you the right to go start
What if
something
they
with
got
them, and
what if they
especially
got personal, Ty? What if they started talking about your mama, your son, your daughter? What if they chose fighting words?
then you should have the intellect to respond and get that at them with a verbal assault rather than a physical assault. If you're not smart enough to push back in a way that is verbal, then I don't know what to tell you other than not just to do something.
Ty doesn't want to
physical.
throw hands, it sounds like to me.
No,
That's what
it's
I
like,
heard.
and I've been in situations before, particularly with the Texas A&M fan base and Jerry World, where I watched our team blow it like they did every single year at that stadium, and I would hear things coming off. But that fan base is so easy to make fun of, so I brushed it off.
I remember that.
But it's just one of those situations where it's like, I mean, you see guys bloodied up, you see guys beat up, and it's just not a good look for a franchise that has needed a title for the first time in 50 plus years. Not a good look.
Yeah.
I would focus.
I agree
on
with you. I
what's
remember
happening
that-
on the court. That's much more.
I remember that
important.
time you got into it with those A&M fans, and we had to come to your aid because there was no way I was going to let her continue to beat on you like that.
Which one?
I mean, it was just no way we were going to let her take you
Her-
to task.
She was big
if
for a
we were
12-year-old.
not.
She was
I
big
mean,
for a
she'd
12-year-old.
gotten 4 or 5 good blows in on Ty, and we put a stop to it. We were like Mills Lane. We were stepping in.
Had to
Oh,
call
this
her-
fight is over.
Had to call her mom.
I was afraid she was going to have to call your dad and say, hey, your boy here, he's in the hospital.
Well, the key, if you're going to get into an altercation, one, don't ever hit a female. Want to do the Steve Spurrier thing first and foremost. Two, unless you deserve. No, I'm kidding. But two is have a group of guys with you. So if an altercation does outnumber them, if an altercation does occur and you talk a little too much smack, which leads to someone punching you in the face or the gut or any part of your body, then make sure that you have backup. And not just that you have numbers, but you have guys that you know are a little crazy, that you know are a little nuts, that even if it's a fight that you may get outnumbered in, they will still come to your aid, still come to your side.
All right, Bet Saracen app. Got it pulled up right now. Knicks favored tonight by how many, men?
2.5.
Hear this.
Okay.
It's probably a tight line again, probably 3.
Two is
Okay.
the line tonight.
Wow.
Odds of a fight outside the arena.
100%.
Better, it's
Minus-
better than
minus
even money.
100,000.
Million.
Minus 100.
Yeah, that was kind of a bad look the other night. All right, Knicks favored by 2 tonight. Money line has the Knicks at minus 130. You can find all of it, including some early Arkansas football lines on the Bet Saracen app, and we will keep an eye on that as tonight's another big night. And I'll find it. What'd you find on road teams winning the first 4 games?
Not a lot of evidence has come up yet. There's a couple that I need to make sure that I verify before I, spew out misinformation here on the air. I don't want to be wrong.
Well, just throw them out, and I can fact check them live for you.
What do you know about fact
I'm gonna
checking?
pass on that.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna pass
Go
on
ahead.
that. I'm just trying. You want me to read what the Google pulled up here? This is an
Might as
AI
well.
overview. This is not going to be very good. The 2023 American League Championship Series, the 2019 World Series, the 1984 NBA Eastern Conference First Round, the 2021 NBA
sounds like a
Western
lot.
Conference First
You
Round.
said what year?
I've just said
of the
4
84?
different years. 84 NBA Eastern Conference First Round. Before the fourth round was extended, to a best of 7, it was played as a best of 5. So the Sixers lost the first 2 games, the Nets lost the next 2 games, and they had.
But
to,
you didn't list an NBA Finals in there.
I did not. No,
hear.
there was no NBA Finals.
So this may be the first time, if it happens tonight, if the Spurs win. Early research says that this could be the first time the road teams won the first 4 games.
Man, it would be fun to have AI in school back in the day. I don't know. We had Spark Notes. What are some other things we used to
Quizlet,
utilize?
baby.
Quizlet. Yeah, that was another one. But
we had to go to the bookstore and buy the Cliff Notes version of something if we needed a little help, a little primer,
how
little aid.
How you guys?
We didn't have the internet, much less AI to cheat for us.
I think it's funny when kids these days complain about school, and I know my generation complains about this, and you guys laugh at it, and the generation behind you laughs at the stuff you complain about. But whenever I hear a young man or woman in high school or college complain about course workload or how difficult what their curriculum is, I just laugh because they have more resources than we ever did, and ours, I admit, was easy. But like going to school back 20, 30, 40 years ago, there'd be a lot of people that did not graduate from not just the U of A, but various other institutions.
Have an actual book? I mean, do they even have a bookstore anymore on campus to gouge you?
I think still next to Walmart.
Still gouge you, Tommy.
I mean, I thought everything was online now. My kids don't have, in high school, they don't have any books. They don't have textbooks.
At all?
No. Everything's on a computer. They give them a Chromebook or whatever, and everything's on there. They don't even have lockers. Remember we had lockers? You'd have 5 minutes in the passing period to go to your locker and put your book up and get the book for the next. They don't even do that anymore.
Always there's always the talkative, popular guys and gals that were always late to class because they were talking with everyone in the minuscule 5 minutes you got in between classes. That was fun.
You have lockers. Remember you had to learn to turn. All right, 37, 3 to the left, 2 to the. You had to remember how to open your locker. Remember the code. You think you could do it in your sleep, but we don't even do that. I mean, they don't even have lockers anymore.
They're missing out.
Yeah.
They're missing out.
Part of the social aspect of school.
So we were debating what was the best years to be in. And what I said was to be a kid in the 90s, like kind of around your teenage years, go to college in the early 2000s and be in the workforce starting in like the 2010s, because then you're a little more established. Yes, there's some things you have to learn, but you've gotten to a point in your life where you can still adapt because you're not too old. You also went to a time in school where social media wasn't as prevalent yet, and you can still have fun and not worry about things getting videotaped or camera all the time. So there's like little time periods and pockets when it was good to be a kid, or it's good to be an adult. It's good to be in college, and I feel bad for everyone born now in 2026 because your life's going to suck the next 75 years.
But you go back and think, if you were a child of the 50s, like my parents, you grew up without air conditioning, internet.
I know that's why it's too far back.
Too far back, and then you grew up a child of the 70s. You had air conditioning, but if you look cross-eyed at your dad, you get your butt spanked. Then you get into the 80s and you start getting gaming systems and Atari, and you get Nintendo and some of those things. And now we're staying indoors because your parents are worried about you getting kidnapped, which wasn't going to happen. Then you get into the so every era has its pluses and minuses. But I think you're right that being a child, like where my oldest daughter was born in '96, and that era was a pretty good one because you got a little. She was still. At a time you went outside and played, you rode bikes in the neighborhood. None of the kids in our neighborhood ride bikes. That's all we did in the summer in the 80s is ride our bicycles all over the world, and be home by dark. I mean, I'm with you. Being a kid of today's world, too much pressure on social media.
Yeah, not as fun. All right, let's give you so we got a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. More of your beef's coming. We've got several texts to read here in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. John Calipari been doing these satellite camps. He was in Fort Smith yesterday, shared a tidbit of the upcoming non-conference schedule we'll tell you about. Washington State has created its own, not just whiskey, but now cinnamon whiskey. Listen up. Arkansas probably should do the same thing. They're using the funds towards NIL.
Isn't that like Fireball? Just another version of Fireball?
It's their version of Fireball. Yeah. There's an iconic GIF of one of their fans pulling a bottle after I think they're in the midst of playing Washington and drinking it like after a big touchdown or something, then putting it back. And so they've kind of played off that a little bit. Some basketball news outside of not just the schedule, some transfer portal news for Arkansas basketball. RD is going to join us at 10, and then Bones Pagante with the Arkansas Diamonds is going to join us coming up at 10:45.
Yeah, they've got another road game this week for the Arkansas Diamonds and be back at home next Friday. We'll talk with Coach about that. Hey, when the workday is done, that's when the good stuff begins, whether it's fishing, off-roading, or just enjoying the great outdoors. And Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can help make it happen. Visit myaglender.com or drop by any one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and start making the most of your time off.
And we're looking to bring one more team to our place. The Michigan State game, understand, it was at home this year. But now we're playing them on Thanksgiving, which will be the highest rated television game of the year, not close. And that's good for our kids' NIL. I mean, you got to think of more than just that. So now next year you have Michigan at home, Michigan State, I'm sorry, Arizona at home, and you got an ACC challenge game at home, and it may be a pretty good team.
This is the opening drive.
All right, so Gonzaga is the exhibition game. He added on to that when speaking with Hayden Herrera of Pig Trail Nation yesterday. So that's another one. Again, it's not going to count for your upcoming season record, but it is a good initial litmus test.
Counts to your fans, though.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Those exhibition games are not part of the season ticket package. Now, generally what has happened on these high-caliber exhibition games is season ticket holders have a chance to buy first, but then the ones that don't, those seats that go in field, the general public gets to get. So it's a chance to see the team in an arena that's sold out. And to me, it semi-counts towards the quality of what you – even though it's not part of your season ticket package, it's still an amenity of being a season ticket holder to have that kind of opponent come into your arena.
2 years ago, Boogie Flan and company beat Kansas, who DeJuan Harris, and they were, I think, 2 years removed from a national championship, which was fun. Played Cincinnati. You played Penny Hardaway in Memphis. That game was not at home. You've gotten a chance to play Purdue. I know that was under Muss, but you've had some. I mean, Gonzaga, Purdue, and Kansas. That's the cream of the crop coming in your building. So that's, I think, if you're like you said, it is an amenity in the sense where you have an opportunity to go watch. Now, not part of the season ticket package, like you said, but
that actually opens it up to a few more fans that otherwise, probably won't have a guaranteed opportunity to get in the building this year.
And one of the things that we've talked about, and I can't show you a spreadsheet on what the money looks like, but Cal talking about the money aspect and for NIL, and I wondered, from a selfish standpoint, I'm like all of you. I would want as many games at Bud Walton Arena as possible. But if one marquee game, say in Detroit this Thanksgiving, is the difference between you getting a blue chip prospect either out of high school or a transfer portal, then even as an avid home Razorback fan that wants to watch these marketable games, I get what he's coming from to maybe get that said player.
Here's what I heard in what he said that he didn't say. Here's what I read between the lines. You're not going to have a lot to be proud of on the schedule at home this year, but he already pointed out, but next year, but wait till next year. When you get Michigan State, you get Arizona, and you get the ACC Challenge, you just wait. Hold on this year. You're not going to be real thrilled. You're not going to be thrilled with the games that are not on your schedule this year. But next year, season tickets are going to be phenomenal because of those three games he just mentioned.
Yeah, and the prospects of
that's what I heard. Am I wrong to think that way? That hey, we're not going to see much on here.
No, I don't think so. And he had already mentioned, Colton, was it earlier this week or maybe last week, he had mentioned the prospect of playing in Madison Square Garden too.
Last week he mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, if they could work that out. So, again, you've got three marquee games that count. You've got one that doesn't count, but it's at least added. So now we're just waiting on what else is going to happen with an actual regular season game.
You need one, right? Since you don't have that needs to be their goal, is to have at least one marquee December game in the years you're not playing the ACC Challenge at home.
Here's the element that, similar to what mid-major programs fight against because of how difficult it is to either play them when you host them or play them on the road, who wants to come into Bud Walton Arena for a non-conference
game?
Well,
one of Cal's friends, one of his buddies, one of the coaches off his tree.
But that's only, again, you always talk about how selective that is in terms of blue blood. So if you're already playing Michigan State, you're already playing Arizona, you're already playing Gonzaga in a preseason, you're already playing, who's the other team I'm missing? North Carolina, because it's the ACC. There's not a lot left to select from. And I don't know how many of those, I mean, Izzo and him are friends, but I do wonder, like, because you got to
Look
find.
through his coaching tree. I mean, and I don't have that list in front of me. That'd be where I would start. Huh?
Not a very big coaching tree from Coach Cal. He's not produced a lot of head coaches on.
And those
on his
coaches
tree.
also have to be marketable in terms of the programs. Again, the list is small, and those programs that have the blue blood in them get to be selective if they want to go somewhere or not. So maybe they've been told no. I get where you're coming from. I want to see games at home just like you two. 27 is going to be a big year for Arkansas basketball. Doesn't sound like 26 is, at least from a home vantage point.
All right, that is the opening drive this morning, brought to you by our friends at Valley Dental, where you can get your snore guard and get a discount on that right now. If your wife has been complaining about your sleep apnea, your snoring, and you're not getting it, go to Riley Farm Dental, Valley Family Dental Practice, and let them help you take care of that need right now. That's Valley Family Dental, online, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Sleep apnea, real problem, and Dr. Sparkman can create a custom appliance, custom snore guard to help you with it. That's valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
All right, when we come back, Hog Update. Stay with us here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of the Morning.
Talking about Richard's Meat Market because that's my spot, and of course Richard and Chris have been around forever.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I'll face with you, Ty.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is the game that they are saying national championship. And we're floating in a sea of red.
Drive smarter with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle available only at Rath Auto Resources. We look all over the region for the best used cars. From there, they're inspected, reconditioned to our certified standards, and backed with a comprehensive warranty. And while the other guys might spring hundreds or even $1,000 in added fees on you at the last minute, our painless pricing and non-commissioned sales team ensure that you get a straight deal every time. Make the switch to a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom. Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bend, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Darren McFadden goes 73 yards. And Ballot has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Standing at his own 40-yard line, Arkansas should come out of it with good field position and plenty of time. A wobbly spiral. It's got some good carry to it at the 29. Waters moves on the near side. He puts up the midfield. He's inside the 30. He will go into the end zone. A 41-yard kick and a 71-yard return. And Arkansas has a chance to go for two and tie it with 2:28 to go.
Did you see Orlando Waters passed away?
I did not know it until I read your notes this morning for the show. That was sad news there.
Yeah, died on Monday, 54 years old. 92 win against Tennessee. He's a major part of that. Takes that back. They missed the 2-point conversion. And then was it Todd Wright that hit the game-winning field goal after an onside kick recovery, and Arkansas wins at Neyland? Which
what was it? What else was notable about that game?
First year in the SEC.
Yes, and
first time you won in a 100,000-seat stadium. Where am I going?
Barry Lunny's first start.
His
Freshman.
first start.
And that was because he started on the road. That was his first start, if I'm recalling this right, as a Razorback. And obviously went on to have a great career, led the team to the 95 championship game. But that was Barry's first start as a quarterback as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm. So Orlando's time at Arkansas, for the most part, predates me. But I do remember there's some iconic plays that he had. That punt return for a touchdown, and then also a great play he had against LSU.
Last goal for LSU into the end zone. Orlando Waters has got the sideline. Champlin makes him cut inside. He's got a line in the feet, and you know what? He's got to do it. Touchdown, Arkansas. See you later.
Matt Jones wrote a good piece in Whole Hog Sports. He was one of, I think, 3 players the first year of the Southeastern Conference Arkansas was in that made all SEC. I had not realized that about Barry Lundy Jr.
I'm going to guess, I'm just thinking, that was the first big signature win of the Southeastern Conference. Remember what you'd gone through. I mean, and I know that we're remembering Orlando here, but remember what you'd gone through in the the end of Jack Crow, and then you had the Citadel, the end of Jack Crow. You had Kimes as your interim. You bring in Danny Ford as a consultant. He becomes head coach, and then you get that big victory. Waters a big part of that. Lunny a part of that. And really your first big signature win of the Southeastern Conference. And Neyland Stadium was, I mean, it's still Neyland Stadium. It was really Neyland Stadium then.
Yeah.
And there weren't 100,000 seat stadiums anywhere. It was like the ninth wonder of the world at that point. Stadiums have caught up, but to go there and win was a huge, huge deal. 34 years ago.
We can ask Richard Davenport about him a little bit more coming up in just a bit. Other Arkansas news to get into. You heard Cal talking, played in Gonzaga, it sounds like, in the preseason here at Bud Walton Arena. That's notable basketball news, as is Davian Thompson's commitment. Basketball player potential.
Thank you.
Football, basketball, baseball, we got a lot of them. Davian Thompson, basketball, deciding tonight, 8 o'clock, 2027 kid that could reclassify. Vanderbilt, Michigan, Baylor, the other schools that he could potentially go to, and Arkansas is in that mix of the top 4 as well.
You got to study too much at Vandy. You got to go. You probably got to behave too much at Baylor. So it's really down to Arkansas and Michigan. Right.
Yeah. Well, defending national.
I mean,
champion.
honestly, if you were going to choose between Arkansas, Vandy, Baylor, and Michigan, wouldn't Arkansas and Michigan have to be 1 and 2? Unless there was a family tie or
Baylor
something?
just had a bad.
Just looking from the outside.
No disrespect, Dad. Baylor just had a tumultuous year. That was
Yeah.
tough. Michigan, though, defending national champ. It's it'd be hard to overlook
Right.
the Wolverines objectively if I'm looking.
Arkansas
at them.
may actually be number 2 on that list.
Yeah.
As much as we
Which-
don't like saying that.
And it sounds like, I mean, you listen to that full interview with Pictrel Nation, Colton.
Whoops, sorry about
that. It sounded
set my papers down. I
Hit the-
forgot I got all the Ruskin and Zach's props in here.
We're in the Ruskin and Zach
Yeah.
studios this morning. Where did my mind go?
Something about Pictrel Nation time.
Yeah, what did Cal said something on? Oh, he talked about adding like a guard. So I'm guessing that this is who he was talking about. I could be wrong on that. Maybe he goes elsewhere, but that's just where my mind went. All right, a couple other things. Carson Brumbaugh has reportedly entered the portal, and then UCA Zeb Allen, who hit like 30 homers for the Bears, is transferring to Arkansas. And say that again, Colton.
9 in 1 season over a couple of years. He's
Yeah,
their
over a couple
all-time
years.
home run leader.
Mm-hmm. And then Cordy Deiffel added Justin Schultz, who was the Boise State head softball coach. So that's some hog news for you here on this What's Your Beef Wednesday.
And it's brought to you by Sterling Bank. There's no place like home. And for your home team, that's Sterling Bank. They live here, they work here, and they cheer for the same team from the same stands as you do, right here in Northwest Arkansas, and now in Central Arkansas as well. From home plate to your front door, Sterling Bank steps up to the plate with personal service, local decisions, and a commitment that lasts longer than a season. They're not just bankers. They're your neighbors, your friends, and part of the team helping families, small businesses, and neighborhoods grow and thrive. Find them in Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville, and now in Little Rock, and online at stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, we're gonna get into our morning rush daily question coming up in just a bit. I've got a few other things I want to get into as well. More of your beefs coming up here on this What's Your Beef Wednesday.
And it's brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. From ribs to gourmet burgers, fresh kebabs, house-made sausages, and more. They've got everything to get on the grill and do it right this summer at Richard's Country Meat Market. Father's Day is coming up as well. See Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com or just call them, 479-443-0000.
You got a good one this morning?
I'm working on it now.
Working on it now.
Like right now.
Caller text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
Waters, and he's from an inside. He's field. He's inside the 30. He will go into the end zone. A
51-yard kick and a 71-yard return.
You're listening to the Morning Rush. Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
You need length and girth in this league. Length and girth.
This is the Morning Rush.
Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes set a high standard for luxury. With the iconic $5 box, the decadent $7 box, or the extravagant $9 box. And when you experience the opulence of crunching into the grilled cheese tortilla shell of the shredded beef dippy taco in the $9 box, you may even let the Lutz go to your head. Get your $5, $7, or $9 Lutz box today. Only at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezes and specialty drinks not included. Tats extra.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's a thought. Why not declutter your internet, too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Hi, this is Grant Holman, owner of 479 Equipment Company off I-49 exit 65 in Fayetteville. We're the Northwest Arkansas bad boy mowers that are built right here in Arkansas. We're not just here to sell you a machine, we're building our reputation here 1 acre at a time. Find the toughest new bad boy mowers on the market and a service department that actually answers the phone. Big jobs or small plots, don't settle for good enough. Get the service you deserve and the mower you can trust. 479 Equipment and bad boy mowers off I-49 exit 65 in Fayetteville.
Hey, it's Phil Carr with Shangri-La Resort. Some things get better with time. For 70 years, Shangri-La Resort has been the backdrop for your favorite memories. On July 3rd, we're going to celebrate all these years on Lake Ouachita. Whether you're here for the world-class fishing, the delicious cafe, or just a quiet morning on the water, join us as we celebrate 7 decades of excellence. Visit us at ShangriLaResortAR.net or call 870-867-2011. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Madida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
The Men's College World Series gets underway Friday in Omaha, Nebraska. Somehow they're still going to manage to have the event without the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm not even sure how they're going to pull it off. Here's the Morning Rush Daily Question. Will you actively root for or against SEC teams in the Men's College World Series? Because you're guaranteed to have one SEC team in the championship round. We know that already because Bama and Oklahoma, Georgia and Texas are paired up in the bottom half of the bracket. Ole Miss would have to prevail from bracket 1 against Troy, North Carolina, and West Virginia to guarantee an all-SEC final. But are you rooting for or against? Because you got a lot of games in bracket 2, all the games in bracket 2, where you're going to have to pick between SEC schools. So are you rooting for or against the SEC to win the national championship in baseball?
Against Country Roads, take me home. Let's go. West Virginia Mountaineers. They're coming.
They play Troy. That's game 1. That's the first game of the College World Series, Friday at noon, our time.
I mean, you don't have to play an SEC team, even though there's 5 in there, game 1. I mean, you talk about a setup for West Virginia. One of the things that hurt Arkansas last year, and you were going to have to play them regardless, you got to play Cade Anderson game 1. And you hadn't figured out a way to beat LSU in the postseason. Hopefully you do at some point. But that didn't help things. So, yeah, West Virginia, Country Roads, take me home, Colton.
Yeah, I can't root for another team to bring it home before DBH wins one. I mean, Wes Johnson's great. He's done a lot of good things at Georgia. If he's another assistant that takes one home before Dave does, I couldn't stomach that. There is an interesting stat that I saw, though. Teams that come out of bracket 2 have won the College World Series more often than not. So bracket 2 is Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and Oklahoma, which leaves bracket 1, North Carolina, West Virginia, Ole Miss, and Troy on the other side. So if you're picking, just based off that, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma more likely coming out of bracket number 2.
And why would that be? Because Georgia was what? The overall number 2 seed, right? UCLA would have been in the top bracket, which would have been bracket 1, and we know the history of what the number 1 seed does. So that makes sense that bracket 2 that wouldn't have the number 1 overall seed would be behind bracket 2 in winners. I don't know that that's a foreteller or a bellwether for what's going to happen this week, but that is an interesting number, and I think it's because the number 1 seed, has in the last since '99 has only won 2. Miami and LSU, Tennessee are the only ones to win from as the 1 seed. So that makes sense.
Keith Wilson, our friend at CJ's, is listening. He sent. I'm guessing you got that from 11.7.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Yeah, so that is he was texting in literally right before you said that, which is kind of funny. So we'll see. I mean,
I will root for Georgia this week. That's who I want to see win. I know you don't want another Dave Van Horn disciple to do it, but I mean, I'm not going to root for Texas. I'm not going to root for Ole Miss. I would be fine with West Virginia. I don't think they're going to do it. I'm not rooting for Oklahoma, so I'm kind of left with Georgia by default.
Let me ask you this: so Tennessee won what? Let me timeline. 2 years ago, right? In 23, because they did the SEC tournament, number 1 seed, and won the whole stinking thing. Arkansas responded. I say that they got yeeted at home. I wonder, like, if Dave sees his former assistant in Wes Johnson, he's already had to watch Tony do it, and I know Wes was on a national championship team in LSU. But if he sees another former assistant do it, do you think he's happy? Do you think he's pissed off? Does that motivate him anymore? Because it's funny, every year people talk about Dave's motivation. And I saw a guy, as soon as they lost to Kansas, that didn't look like he was unmotivated, that looked angry, that looked disappointed. And I guarantee you we'll get more of a sense of what this season was, in his opinion, when he does his end of the season post press conference. So I guess the only solace I could take from that argument you're making is maybe that will push him to the brink where he feels like he has to win one.
Well, I think it proves that his system works, because a lot of his system and the way he's done things is being utilized elsewhere and resulting in national championships. But I would think that would just reinvigorate the fire in the belly. But I can't answer for how Dave's going to feel on that. But I'm not. There's few SEC teams I can't pull for. Georgia is one I can pull for. But when you look through this bracket, I think it is also just funny how it works out, where 4 of the 5 SEC teams are all wadded up together in that bottom bracket, in bracket 2. So you're guaranteed to have one in, but you're going to have to, if you want 2 SEC teams in the finals, then Ole Miss is your only salvation.
All
there.
right, that is your Car Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. They have just announced their summer memberships going through September. I know they're really, really excited about that over at Car Pass Social. What does it mean? Well, that means you can play unlimited golf, whether it's just for yourself, whether it's for your family, whether it's for you and a guest. CartPassSocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. No rainouts, no crowded tee times. You can get in and out as a single in like an hour and a half. With a buddy, you can do it in like 3 hours. Like it's much quicker than playing 18 holes somewhere else. No lost balls, as you like to point out. You can bring in your own food. Like, you know how you're not supposed to sneak in your own drinks and food to golf courses, whether private or public? Well, you can at CartPath. CartPathSocial.com. It's always BYOB, and they're giving away a summer membership on their socials at CartPath Social. All right, let's talk to Brian. He's in Ozark this morning. Brian, are you going to give us some good content today, or is it going to be the same old crap? Man, it's better off he probably didn't answer.
Best call Brian ever had right there.
All right, let's get back to some of what John Calipari had to say in Fort Smith yesterday. He was at Northside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jalen and Isaiah. Well, they never played in that gym, but that's where they were at. Yeah.
Because they played in Condart, and now what's the new facility called? Is it named after anything? I don't even know.
I think it's just Grizzly Arena.
Grizzly Arena. Okay. Had things to say. Arkansas is going to be playing Gonzaga. Talked a little bit about the non-conference schedule next year. He also talked who we've been very excited to have back in Billy Richmond.
I told Billy, you got to lead now. And I said, especially you step on that court, let them know how hard you play and the spirit you play with. Because I want all of us to think, what if we have 3 or 4 or 5 guys playing like Billy plays? I mean, you're diving all over the floor. People would be saying, this is crazy. And so I want him to lead, but we got some really good young players too.
How much of a jump can he take? Because I know you're on the idea of maybe he can be the leader of his team, and you heard Cal there speak to just the leadership role. I don't know if that means scoring. I don't know if that just means talking and leading the guys on both ends of the floor. His point, and I had it a couple shows ago, his points went up like 4 or 5. He improved his shooting percentage by like 4 or 5. His three-point percentage went through the roof compared to where it was as a freshman year. But is this a guy that realistically could average 18 points a game in this league? He did it for 5 straight games, scored 20 or more points. But I want to know is when we look at the All-SEC, like he's not just going to be on the defensive team. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be a first or second All-SECer come March?
I think so, because I think Arkansas is going to win enough games, and I think it's going to be clear that he's the best player on the team. And I think when you're third in this league, or I don't know that Arkansas's got what it takes to win this league. That's not the most important thing. But I think, yeah, he's going to be somewhere, maybe not first team, but he's going to be listed because I think he is going to statistically and just from the eye test be your best player, but it's going to be because of the defense he plays, and he gives you enough points. But I think he is so quick in transition. He's going to make steals on defense that lead to points. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't have that level of honors within this conference.
Yeah, and I think for this roster right now, let's say that the Davion kid, and is it Thomas or Thompson? It's Thompson. Yeah, Thompson, who's deciding at 8 o'clock tonight. The cool thing about Billy, like even at times last year he played the 4, had to play 1 his freshman year because Boogie went down and DJ was starting, and Billy was just there out of necessity, basically. You do have the luxury you can play him multiple positions. I just wonder, like, if you're him, like, can you now, you've got 2 years of scouting reports on him, right? Like, kid loves to, he's good going to his left. He's got a spin move if he needs to counteract. He's also a really, really good cutter. He's improved his three-point shot. Now with more defenses keying in and knowing that, hey, you might be the it guy on this year's team, how does he handle that in year 3? Because everyone, it's a lot easier when no one's game planning for you and you can kind of do it on your own and be the non-play guy that plays aren't featured for you. It's another level when they are drawing up sets and plays specifically for you game in, game out.
I've got to believe that's part of why he came back. I've got to believe that's part of what NBA teams have told him. Hey, go back, be the man for Arkansas this year, and that's going to elevate your stock in the next NBA draft. So I've got to believe he's relishing the opportunity because he's been told what's at stake by doing a good job in that area. You're right, it's more pressure. You're right, you've got to answer. But I think there's a lot at stake if he does. And that's why he's back at Arkansas.
Logan Lavaca, basketball is a confidence game, and I think Billy's is going to be through the roof this year. I like where you're coming from in the sense of, hey, this is what you need to do to get better. Cal and the other coaches are probably like, hey, we think you can take on more of a line share of the scoring load and drawing things up. Because that's what Cal kept saying last year. It's like, yeah, we don't even call plays for him. He just kind of scores 10, 12 in the 20-plus games. He's just kind of doing that on his own, which makes me think that if he's given more opportunities that he can do even more than that. We're talking basketball on June the 10th. June the 10th.
What
just funny.
What does that mean? The fact that we're talking basketball right now.
Cal's obviously not a chokehold, but a stronghold on the fan base because when he's traveling all over the state, people want to talk to him, people want to meet him, people want to take photos and autographs. It helps when you have an Hall of Fame coach and has the cachet he is. But I think, again, people are really excited about basketball this year, even though we're several months out from the season beginning in November. And it helps when you get some news about scheduling like the Gonzaga game preseason.
And unfortunately, football's not sucking the oxygen out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still one thing as well. Hey, check out the Pradco store. It's inside the Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. And what you can do there is customize their lures. They got a lot of blanks. You can pick the kind you need and, with the right hooks and different stuff for the type of fishing you're doing. And then you can pick the colors, and you can even put your name or Happy Father's Day on there or any kind of message. Go Hogs Go. Morning Rush is the best. Whatever you want to put on there. And customize that for just $3 more. It's a perfect Father's Day gift. It's the perfect opportunity right now to, get something that Dad will remember forever. All right? So check it out. It's the Pradco store inside the new Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. Customize your lures today with Pradco in Fort Smith.
All right, when we come back, we're going to chat with our buddy Richard Davenport here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. We'll see what he's beefing with and getting some recruiting news next.
On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother. They're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef. It's What's for Dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef. It's What's for Dinner.
Fort Smith, your next great fishing story starts at the brand new Bass Pro Shops outpost on Bass Pro Drive, just off Rogers Avenue. Step inside and discover the Pradco store within a store, where you can design a custom autographed lure from iconic shapes like the Head and Spook, Cotton Cordell Redfin, and many others. Add your name, a message, or whatever sparks your imagination. Whether you're gearing up for the water or grabbing a one-of-a-kind gift, It's all happening now at the Bass Pro Outpost. Come make something unforgettable.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is the Morning Rush.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Drive smarter with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle available only at Wrath Auto Resources. We look all over the region for the best used cars. From there, they're inspected, reconditioned to our certified standards, and backed with a comprehensive warranty. And while the other guys might spring hundreds or even $1,000 in added fees on you at the last minute, our painless pricing and non-commissioned sales team ensure that you get a straight deal every time. Make the switch to a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Wrath. Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson. We're here at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith with Rachel. Rachel, tell our audience why we love coming here on Thursday.
We have a great crowd, great sports, buckets for 15, good vibes, good atmosphere. Can't beat it.
Rachel, we're here every Thursday. Do you ever get tired of it?
You have your times, but you keep coming back, so we put up with you.
Well, we appreciate it. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. It's Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. What do we always say?
It's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith.
Perhaps the world.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, a high approaching 90 degrees, mainly clear mid-70s overnight. Thursday, right back to sunshine, a high approaching 90, and then a chance of scattered showers and storms for Friday, or high on Friday, right around the mid to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 87 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
You could drink beer.
The superior light beer for the social athlete.
Betting on your own team doesn't violate a basic tenet of any sport and doesn't warrant a punishment, then literally nothing else matters.
And this isn't a oops, I got drunk one night and I fired in a bet. This is habitual.
This is what frustrated Brunson. Oh, whoa. That's, excuse me, that should be a flagrant one. I can understand why Brunson, and then Wendy's laughing at it, and Brunson's got to be smart. He can't retaliate because that would be his second foul.
And he missed it, no question about it.
Your body language, the tone and timbre of your voice, the enunciation had a very overwhelming stench of negativity.
I'll tell you what, I'll sit out that 10 minutes and let you guys just...
No, because you got to tell us where we're right and where we're wrong at the end.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little, this is The Morning Rush. And now, your league leaders in golf trips and vacations. Here are your hosts, Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Your body language is much more positive today, I will say. Sitting up straight in your chair, bringing a little energy, the timbre of your
yesterday?
voice. Yeah, it had a little stench of negativity yesterday. Much more positive today.
So I flipped it because the negative stuff is supposed to come out today and the positive is supposed to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I guess I just forgot the days, if you will.
What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Call them at 479-443-0000. Make Father's Day special this year with some of their prime steaks, gourmet burgers, fresh kebabs, house-made sausages, and more, all at Richard's Country Meat Market. One of my beefs, people trying to justify this decision at Texas Tech with Swordsby. I mean, how do you come? And I know we had part of that as as our intro today. How do you come from an angle? I know you're trying to create new ideas, and it seems like everyone that has a talk show or a podcast or an audience is all going in one direction. Maybe you're just trying to find other ways. But how can anyone? Because it seemed like the conversation kind of flipped as the day went on yesterday.
It did. How I read it, Raiders Illustrated.
How can you justify letting this guy off the hook and back on this team and think it's the proper decision? That's still just a beef of mine.
Because I'm more curious than anything.
Oh, the ESPN. You watch some of those shows really, and I think some of it's just trying to create content, trying to
you take this side, I'll take the other.
I mean, trying to create a discussion. But I'm just trying to figure out what solid footing you would think you would be on, and that's where I come back with this judge. How does this judge think that this is the right thing to do by this kid and by the law? I've got a real beef if the NCAA doesn't mount up a real legal challenge to what goes on here and stop this.
Here's what I don't understand. They did that. They said he was ineligible not once but twice,
right.
And then this happened. Their hands are tied, right?
Well, no, you can appeal that decision to another court, I would think. I mean, again, I'm not Perry Mason, but I would think you could take this judge's decision and ramp it up to the next level.
What TV or movie lawyer would you want on your side in NCAA versus Brendan Scoresby in this case?
Well, Ben Matlock, of course. So
you got to rattle through them because I'm not as familiar with some of who's the not Ted Crane.
No, the one you've got to have is Denny Crane.
Yeah, that one.
Denny Crane. But
I don't know the actor's name, but those two.
William Shatner.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just to me anyone that could justify, because again, one of the clips we had there in the end, if we're going to allow betting on your own sport and habitual betting on your own sport, your own team, then what are we doing here? And I can't believe that the odds makers, the bookmakers, don't want to come in and say, you know what, we're going to spend whatever we got to spend to stop this as well, because the very integrity of the bets they're placing are at stake as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would be interested. Do you guys talk to? Is it Fridays on halftime? You guys talk to Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen?
Yes, Tommy, on Fridays.
I would love for you to ask that question about their position on this matter and how they uphold integrity with the bets themselves. Knowing what we know now. I mean, I would love to hear Neil's take on this.
Clark calls it insider trading.
Exactly. I mean, that tell me why he's wrong.
So who's the bigger scum? Congress making money off knowing inside stuff, or Brendan Sorsby? I guess he lost.
We have a tie.
I guess he lost money because he bet on Indiana back when they sucked. Oh man.
Well, Congress has more of a sure thing.
I think Nate wins the. Nate, I should have. Funny enough, there's a Nate in Landman. I should have said this because this is where my mind went. Rebecca from Landman is who I'd want as a lawyer. Yes, I would also want Amanda Wallace as my lawyer as well. It's like Johnny Depp's lawyer when he was battling Amber Heard. You can boink me if I need to be boinked, but let's just be honest about that.
Bell.
Richard Davenport now joins us. See, that's not the boink. We need a boink bell. A boink bell now joins us here. I know he loves getting tossed into things like this.
What an introduction, RD.
Richard, your stance on what went down, I guess, Monday after our show, Brendan Sorsby, the injunction, now playing post the first 2 games of the season for Tech, at least as of now at 10:06, June the 10th.
Yeah, it was shocking. That's all you can say. I mean, I think sometimes people make decisions, and obviously the judge made a horrible decision, and I think maybe he's starting to rethink it, but he's got to stand by it. He can't change it, and I think he's starting to see just the backlash because of it.
And we applauded. You remember, you texted us like following the show, I think last week or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, the judge that recused himself, and we applauded him for that because he felt like that he was partial. You're supposed to be impartial. He was partial. He was conflicted on this. He's like, I need to take myself out of the equation. And I mean, I don't know that judge personally. Apparently, Colton said he's a Houston grad, but I don't know how you could look at this case, which to me is pretty cut and dry. Now, I've never been to a law school class. I've never tried to pass the bar. But I think you just put in common sense in this situation, don't you, RD?
Well, the thing is, he said that the kid would, what was the saying? Would be caused,
irreparable harm.
Yeah. Well, just go kill somebody. Use that same judgment and say, going to prison, it's going to really harm him. Let's don't. No. There's consequences for your actions, and for it, that judgment harms society. It harms just so much of what we stand for in this country. And I'm just amazed. I think it's one of the most shocking rulings we've seen in a long time. And we've been seeing more and more lately. It seems like some judges, they want to discard law and make their own moral judgment. And how this guy can get away with this, I don't know. I don't know what the policy. I don't know how you get somebody off the bench, but this person deserves to be off the bench.
Well, I think the bigger alarm to sound, at least with Texas Tech, is winning that damn important? That we're just going to sell our soul? That winning is so important, and this is the message we're going to send about our institution. This is what we're going to tell the world we're all about, that we're going to challenge, we're going to go to court, we're going to fight and plead. I know this guy's the best quarterback option you've got. We've got $5 million invested, all these things. But winning is more important than getting him the help he needs for a gambling addiction and making the right moral stand. Maybe that's too high hat here, but it just seems like we put winning ahead of doing what's obviously right to everyone in the world.
That's exactly what I said about Coach McGuire. I got to know him. I mean, not
What
really
message
well.
are we sending here?
Oh, I agree, but I got to know him when he was a high school coach, and I always found him as just a pretty solid guy. And I said on the message board, I was disappointed in him for not standing up and saying, this is not right. We're not going to play him. And the same for the president, same for the AD.
Where are they at on that? Where are the leaders? Where are the adults on this, RD?
They're happy about it.
Well,
No,
that's my point.
No, it's pathetic on all parts, the judge and Texas Tech's part. And I guarantee you, there's going to be some parents that are going to look at this, that their son or daughter is being recruited by Texas Tech. Some won't care, but some will say, no, you're not going to go there for what they're showing what they stand for, and you're not going to go there. And I have no doubt that there's going to be some parents and kids say, I appreciate it, but I'm reconsidering my decision whether or not to attend Texas Tech or not. And I wish some would just come out and say, that caused them to back off of Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know where, if we don't draw a line here, a firm line here with the NCAA, with the Big 12. Again, where's the board of trustees on this? Again, they put winning ahead of everything. And I would like to think if this was the University of Arkansas, we would make the right decision here. If we're going to allow gambling on the games you're playing in, then what are we watching at this point? Now we're watching WWE. Now we're just watching wrestling. If this is what we're going to allow.
I guarantee you that there's a fight behind the scenes. There is no doubt a good amount of people, Red Raider fans, are upset about this. Powerful people, and then you have others that are kind of like you said, win at all cost. Who cares? What it looks like. I'm sure there's some back and forth, and I'm sure they're getting some blowback from this from some pretty influential people.
Richard Davenport with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Richard, we were commenting earlier this week that, hey, it's hard to keep up with what's going on in recruiting. You got to make sure you're really specific when talking about sports and which sport you're talking about when you're talking about players right now, because we got action going on with seemingly 3 or 4 sports right now, and where they're trying to get players in from high school, portal. I'm sure it's a lot for you to keep up with as well.
Yeah, thank God I'm pretty much just trying to focus on football and basketball. The others, thank God we have some others at Hog Sports that can do that. But it's a lot of activity with the portal action, and then high school recruiting. The third weekend of prospects coming in for official visits this weekend, and then one more the following weekend, and the football will be done there. And then obviously you had Shaw Hall, the big man, junior college big man, visit Monday and Tuesday. He left last night. Well, left late yesterday afternoon, and so for basketball. So yeah, a lot of activity, and you're right. You got to say Arkansas football or basketball or softball or baseball or what have you. It's a lot going on.
Is Thompson going to be a Razorback tonight, Artie? 8 o'clock, Michigan, Vandy, Baylor. Picking the Hogs, in your opinion?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't. He visited Arkansas twice last year for games, and I remember him visiting for the Cincinnati game and talking to him afterwards, and he said a lot of the same things that a lot of guys say before they decide to be Razorbacks. I mean, Cal's track record of sending guys to the NBA and especially guards, and especially after what happened to Darius Acuff this year. I'd be surprised if Thompson is not a Razorback after tonight.
Razorback football fans got some troubling news. Orlando Waters passed away this week, RD. We played some highlights of his earlier, the significance of the win against Tennessee in 92. I think he had 2 interceptions against LSU in 93. And really just the transition from the Southwest Conference to the SEC, him being a major key part of that.
Yeah, he was just a football player. He wasn't exceptionally fast. He was like a 4.6 guy, but nobody ever caught him. And he was really elusive when returning kicks. I mean, he made people miss pretty easily, and he just knew how to play the game, even though he might not have been the most physically gifted guy as far as speed. But he made up for it just because of instincts and other attributes that he had.
Richard, as we close you down here, RD always joins us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Sound like that you have a beef with the ruling, obviously, that took place on Monday. Anything else you're beefing with this week?
Well, we talked about some of the things last week as far as the grocery store situation, as far as the carts, the people not returning the carts to the corral and just putting items. Well, I don't want this. I'll put the chips in the frozen food section.
Yeah.
Yeah, but probably blinkers. People not using blinkers, especially on the interstate. That kind of gets to me. But really, probably the 2 biggest are the grocery store beasts. But I have some others. But those are the 2 biggest ones I probably have.
The turning signal thing, especially in neighborhoods, and like someone slows down, and I get that. And interstate, when someone just jerks over into your lane and almost nicks you. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, sometimes when they just jerk over and they don't give you a split second heads up, I mean that causes you to jerk and and maybe veer into the other lane. And yeah, that's a
Rubbing is racing, guys. Rubbing is racing.
Well, talking about driving, another one is making a last-second decision to get off an exit and just going across lanes, and instead of just passing that exit and going to the next exit and coming back around. Yeah, that's another one.
All right, well, RD, we'll wrap it up there. Richard Davenport, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, always covering football, basketball, and baseball recruiting. Doesn't get enough vacation. RD, good stuff. We'll chat next week, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You can call or text the show, 877-377-6963. Brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. If you're looking for a turnkey solution for your construction project, APAC and Standard Materials Group is Northwest Arkansas's #1 provider for aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. If you need more than just materials, APAC can help you with surveying, engineering, construction, drone capabilities, trucking, and logistics, and it's all under one roof. 479-587-3300. Call them today, 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
All right, William's phoned in to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. William, go ahead. You're on the Morning Rush.
Y'all doing all right today?
Good, buddy.
Good, my man.
All right, so a couple things. One, Beth Dutton would be my lawyer, okay? And on the Texas Tech quarterback, I got a couple things I want to see what you guys think about it. One, I think the man or the kid signed for an NIL deal. How can you justify his name, image, and likeness warranting that money with this backlash for what has come out? Like, that doesn't equate to me. And then second, could this be a situation, right, where it's like an HR thing? If you have an addiction and you come forth claiming you have an addiction and go to seek help, it's hard for that employer, right, to terminate some of those work, right? And so
I don't know the legality. I know that is a rule, though. How does that work within it, like when you tie in an addiction to that? Because it is a rule.
You still
like
don't have to play him. You still don't have to start him. You still don't have to let him be part of the team. He can. I mean, if Ty comes to me with one of his many addictions and we find him help for it, And I don't know what
Which
we're going to do
one?
about that small hands group, and I don't know, I'm making stuff up, but bad slicers group. I got to find him some help for a bad slice on the golf course. That doesn't mean I have to put him on the show. I may have to keep him employed, but I don't have to let him get on the air.
I think also, William,
they haven't played a game technically, Tommy, so we don't know if he is going to play.
well, let's
But they could come out and say, "Listen, he's suspended."
You ask a question
more than 2 games.
I think about. So how did this stuff come out? Because I guess I have to go back and look, because he was at Colton. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. Indiana, then Cincinnati. That's his timeline as a college quarterback now in Lubbock. So I don't know if I'm going to guess, and maybe I'm off. It's not like he went up to Coach McGuire. Coach, I spent $40,000 on gambling back in 22, so we're going to need to figure that out or whatever. I'm going to guess that someone did some research and figured it out, and this came to light, and then they have been in scramble mode from a PR
secret like that.
Yeah,
It's too
from
much.
a PR standpoint ever since. Now, again, William, I don't know if that's fact or fiction, but I'm going to guess that's what happened.
Well, what I heard was Cincinnati had some sour grapes, and they busted his hind end.
That could have happened too.
And Texas Tech did get out ahead of him, but it still doesn't negate publicly the kid came forth before he was busted, so to speak, and said, "Look, I admit to having an addiction, and I need to seek help." I don't agree the kid should play, right? I think it destroys the integrity of the game, and I do think this is the straw that's going to break the camel's back. But
Well, you got ADs telling their coaches you're not scheduling Texas Tech. And I'm not just talking about football. Georgia and Nebraska's AD sent out a memo to their coaches like, you're not scheduling the Red Raiders. So this is a nationwide, this is not just a Big 12. This is a nationwide, I don't know if addendum's the right word, but backlash that they're receiving. And rightly so. Sometimes backlash is not necessarily fairly divvied out, but in this situation it is.
Right, which gets to my original question. How is this man marketable at the price he signed for his name, image, and likeness? There's no way you're going to tell me he can rep a product or rep multiple products to generate the revenue they signed to use his name, image, and likeness. That is what they're paying a player. They're not using NIL the way it's supposed to be done. There's no way you're going to tell me he's marketable for the millions of dollars. Exactly, Tommy. There is the stance that people need, in my opinion, or in our.
It's pure pay for play. William, thanks thanks for the phone call. This is exactly what we said it would be from the very get-go. I mean, just look around. There's a few athletes that do some national ads here and there, but those are few and far between. You look just in our market, how many student athletes are appearing on billboards, TV ads, radio commercials, so on and so forth. And you say, well, but they're getting paid to show up and talk to their, they got a kids' tennis clinic and they're going to speak to that. Well, there may be some of that stuff going on, but it doesn't, as Williams pointed out, doesn't justify the hundreds of thousands of dollars these guys are making. Let's just call it what it is, what we all know it is. It's pay for play. That's fine if that's what we're going to do. Let's just be honest about what we're dealing with, and that way we can get guardrails to a point where this thing is going to work and be sustainable. Because what no one's really talking about is, at what point do we run off the cliff? At what point does this go away? And everybody takes for granted people are still going to watch, people are still going to pay, and people are going to still show up. Well, with that kind of attitude and taking things for granted, that's where you're going to wake up one day and the whole thing is imploded on you because you've ran the train off the cliff.
So is it on the coaches to also accept some of the regulations?
It's on everybody. It's on the coaches. It's on the ADs, and it's on ultimately it's the people in bow ties. It's the chancellors and the presidents and their bosses, the boards of trustees, to rein this in. And it's not one school and it's not one conference. It's collectively. It's got to be reined in.
Okay. I just have a hard time with the idea that you should limit a kid's money with the bloated coaching and administration salaries that are rampant across the U.S., and they don't seem to have an issue based on whether it's the College Sports Act or anything else about limiting what they can make.
Is there a limit in the NFL?
But again, Tommy,
there's
you
a
can
salary
make,
cap.
Okay, but you can make endorsements. There's no limit
But
to
these
that.
kids aren't worthy of the kind of endorsements they're being paid. That's what it's supposed to be now.
Isn't the phrase you always say you're worth what someone's willing to pay you?
But they're not paying them. They're not paying them to rep someone's company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest about what's going on.
But they're getting paid.
It's
to
a
win.
lie. It's all a lie,
And
Ty.
I'm not disagreeing with you there, but they're paid because in some people's mind, it's worth it that amount of money to win football games. So evidently, in their mind, it is worth these people's money to spend it for them to be on their team and to win the football games. That's what I'm saying.
But we've got to have. This isn't. There's a limit. You can say, well, I shouldn't be limited to what I can make as a talk show host. But there's a limit. There is a limit to what the job can pay. Your limit is what you can be replaced for. You demand more than what the job is worth, and your employer replaces you with someone who can do the job, maybe not as good, but for equal or lesser money. The job has a limit. Every position, an accountant is only going to make what you can be at the top end of that scale, but an accountant's only going to make so much.
But it's not, my limit is not restricted by Congress. It's not restricted by the government. It's not
It's
restricted
by the marketplace.
And this
It's
is where
restricted by
this is where the market's at.
But in sports, you've got to have, because in the end, we're judging winners and losers on the ends and the results of games. I don't think you can apply market principles and capitalistic principles to what we're talking about here, because even in the NFL or the NBA, there is a structure on how much a team can spend on its roster. And that's exactly where we have got to get to, is where each team has some kind of boundaries. I'm not against if a school wants to spend all their money on one player, that's their choice. But there's got to be boundaries on what a school can spend. We can't live in a world where Alabama can spend $300 million and Arkansas does all it can do to spend 15. That's not good for the industry as well. All right, more to get to here as we roll on. We're brought to you by the Fence Man, 782-3936. We'll do our Fence Man Friday picks. Between now and then, if you'd like a new quality fence, powered automatic gate, or controlled access for your home or business, call Brandon. Let him know you heard it here. He's got a special discount for you, up to $500 when you call and ask for Brandon. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Got our SEC update when we're coming up in just a bit. I want to ask a question. Which job is more coveted post-DVH and John Calipari? Is it Arkansas basketball or Arkansas baseball? That's next on the Morning Rush.
He's talking about Richard's Meat Market because that's my spot. And, of course, Richard and Chris have been around forever.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I'll face with you, Ty.
At the Home Depot, we know pros want to be ready for whatever the job site has in store. That's why the Home Depot app is made for pros who don't miss a beat. So you can power your jobs with rentals to get the tools, trucks, and equipment you need fast. And Pro Extra benefits to keep your business growing. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
To see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank. Member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more.
Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast.
Can you find contractors nearby within our budget?
Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes! Download the Albert app and use promo code COVER to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code COVER to get up to $10,000. That's promo code COVER.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas, 80 yards.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's a thought. Why not declutter your internet, too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, so Dave Van Horn 65, John Calipari is 67. Sounds like both are closer to the finish line than they've been. It's not hard to pick up on that. Which program is going to be more coveted in the SEC post-retirement? It's Arkansas football or Arkansas baseball or Arkansas
Good
basketball?
question. Should write that one down for the Morning Rush Daily question. That's a good one. I think
There's
it's
no SEC news right now, so
I think it's basketball. Job's going to pay more. You're going to be following Cal. Arkansas has a national championship and Final Four history, but it's really close. Makes the job of Hunter Yurachek or whoever's next behind him. They're going to have big shoes. I mean, they're going to have a couple big openings somewhere in the next 3 to 5 years, I would think, to fill. That's going to be a big job for the AD.
Colton, you got any thoughts?
I'll be honest with you, I was fixing something on the computer in here. I wasn't listening. I'm really sorry.
You're good. All right. I would say basketball-wise.
I'm sorry, Todd. Yes, I agree with you on basketball. Basketball for me, that's what I would think is a better job.
Maybe I'm just partial to basketball. And you think about like just the incredible environment that you have in Bud Walton Arena and that you have in Baum-Walker Stadium as well. I think because this program has had like 3 Hall of Famers spanning decades, and I know baseball's had 2, and Coach DeBryan and Coach Van Horn, but you've had the multiple Final Fours by 2 different coaches. You're hoping this other guy gets you as well. And I know Dave and Norm almost brought you to the mountaintop too, just hadn't happened all the way like it did for Coach Richardson in 1994. Does a national championship in one sport mean that much, like slight? Does that give you the slight edge? I don't know why I'm favoring that just ever so slightly more, but I almost lean that way because of that aspect. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's not the bigger deal. Maybe it's the fact that you have one, if not the best practice facility areas for college baseball in the country. Maybe I should point to that more. Not that the Eddie Sutton practice facility is like low or anything like that. It's pretty good. It's right next to Bud Walton, which we know is a great arena. So now I'm almost like going back and forth on this, but I would also probably go basketball, and I guess we're all 3 in agreement on that.
Both are going to be highly coveted jobs. I think you're going to see, big names, and hopefully, when the time comes, and hopefully it's 3 to 5 more years at least. You'd love to be in this kind of mode for, 3 to 5 more years, but Father Time is undefeated. That you've got enough heads up that you got a plan in place, and there's not a lot of drama around the search. I think both of these guys obviously have had the kind of careers that they could announce in front of their final season and have a rocking chair tour and all those kind of things would be fitting, and it gives plenty of time for a search committee, the AD, however you go about handling it to to find their guy. But that's a good question. Which job will be more coveted? So,
Kristen Poto said baseball's actually fun. Talking about this upcoming job. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think basketball is fun, Chris. Graham asked a fair question. Is the Tyson money going to be there? I would guess no. I mean, I think that money's there because of the friendship that John Tyson and John Calipari share. I don't know. And it's not like John Tyson wasn't contributing when Mustard was here, but that was the Hunts coach. Now you've got Tyson's coach. And whoever the next guy is, which is going to be sooner than later because Cal's only got a few years left of doing it here. I'm curious, like, is there a big dog booster that has taken charge like Brian and Mandy did and like John did these last 2 coaching cycles? Does baseball have one? I know you've got the Hunt Center. Does baseball have like one that you kind of associate with Dave Van Horn?
Well, the Walker family.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the Walkers and the Hunts and those guys have put a lot of money in, and their names are on a lot of things. Obviously, the Walker family on the stadium, and that's been a recent ad. So they've been a long time,
But it's not
donors.
like basketball, right? Like you associate it. You saw Brian and Manny Hunt sitting next to Danielle. You associate. You see John on the front row. That's the association I get with basketball.
I think baseball's different. You don't have Gucci Row in baseball.
Yeah. You've got the what's the
But you do have your name on a stadium, so that means something.
It's pretty significant. I don't know anything else. There ain't nothing. I mean, you got SEC teams. You got 5 SEC teams going in. I guess Colton Reed mentioned the stat you said earlier. Was it 68%?
Yeah, teams out of bracket 2. Teams out of bracket 2 the last several years are more likely to make it to the College World Series final and to win the College World Series out of bracket 2 than bracket 1. As Tommy pointed out, bracket 2 now been a little bit lighter because that curse of the number 1 seed typically has bitten them in the past.
Yeah. All right, since we don't have anything else, let's just go to lunch and go early. Just leave right now. Let Colton do the rest of the show. We'll get over there early to Art's Barbecue on Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's. Big burger. Had a bacon cheeseburger over there a couple of weeks ago. It was fantastic. The last time I was there, it was kicking chicken. They take their chicken tenders, fry them up, then they cut them, cube them up, toss them in that kicking chicken sauce, and they are absolutely incredible. It's something different. Now, their barbecue's great. The ribs are probably my favorite thing there. Dylan, my son, 16, loves the brisket. Mac and cheese is incredible. Kids love that over there. Salads are awesome, but kicking chicken might be one of my favorite things on the menu. Check it out. Art's Barbecue, burgers and more. $1 off burgers on Saturdays. 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith, or call 452-2550 for Art's Barbecue.
All right. Brian in Ozark is on hold. Again? I'm going to give you a minute, listeners. Text in yes or no if you want Brian on. We will decide together, mutually, if Brian in Ozark is going to appear on our airwaves. I'm not censoring anything. I'm giving our audience a chance to participate.
His phone
whether we're bringing
his phone wasn't charged earlier, Ty. His mom was hogging the charger, so he had to wait.
Okay, there you go. I'm giving you an opportunity, a chance.
Now, say that again, Colton. I want to make sure I heard what you said right.
His phone wasn't charged earlier when he called, and then it died, and his mom was hogging the charger, so had to wait on her.
Okay. Billy says no.
Well, there's a lot of ways I could go with that one.
Lee says hell to no. Nate says hell no. Random guy in Fayetteville says no. Scott says no. Graham wants to hear his call. So we've got 5 no's and 1 yes. Matt says F Brian, so that's 6 no's. We got a 6-1. We got about 20 seconds left. So if you really want Brian on, you've got to text us in just a bit. While we're waiting on that, here's Cal on the roster this year.
You know, we still have 1 or 2 more that we'll add to this team. But our average age right now with the 10 that we know we have, 18 and 9 months. Probably the youngest team in the country, but that's how I've been doing it.
That age could go down if Davion Thompson, who I'm guessing, Colton, you correct, he's 17 because he's a 2027 kid, is deciding tonight between Vanderbilt, Baylor, and Michigan, deciding at 8 o'clock tonight, and Arkansas. Need to, of course, include that. It's overwhelmingly no. So, Brian, maybe next
I want to hear. That's a shame because I want to hear about his mom and the charger.
Zach says put him on. It's funny. Ellington says Brian smells funny. So you can try tomorrow. Brian, what we'll do from now on is, because you haven't said anything insightful in the 2 years you've been calling, we will let the audience dictate whether you can appear on our show or not. If you don't want to, if they don't want you to, you're not coming on. It's not me censoring you. It's our audience. And this is, listen, we live in a, what is it, a Senate Republic? Is that our government? What's it called?
No.
What is it called?
We are.
It's been a while since I've been in civics.
If you hadn't said it wrong, I could have said it right. We are a constitutional republic.
Okay, thank you. A constitutional republic. And our constituents are, was that popular vote? Popular vote has dictated that you are not coming on our airwaves today. Maybe tomorrow, though. Maybe tomorrow.
Do we have an electoral college?
Yeah, our audience for now. They're the popular vote and their electoral college. They sync up into one. Hey, speaking of popular, our buddy Larry Rath and David Rath are really popular. I heard
they're
you
just around the corner.
Yeah,
I went right by there getting you. Ty sent me out to get him a drink this morning.
I sent you out.
Yeah, he said here.
That's what happened.
Threw me the keys and said, "Go get me a drink." And I went right by Rath.
Coke Zero. You've gotten me on the Coke Zero train because I'm trying to not drink as much as the full stuff. But this is tasty. But you know what else is awesome? What they've got right now at Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. And we were talking with David about this a little bit yesterday. So when you hear the term road ready certified, what does that mean to you? Well, some of you don't know what it means. Well, when you stop by and see David or Larry at both locations, Rath Mitsubishi, Springdale, like Tommy said, around the corner, or Rath Auto Resources, you can take advantage of their summer sales event. And again, warranties. You don't hear about those many times with used vehicles, but we don't even call them used because they're road ready certified, 100+ point inspection, and you get a warranty as well. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Are you going fishing this weekend? Did I hear that?
I am.
Nice.
I'm going to the north. It's been a few weeks since I've been over to my place on the North Fork, so yeah, I got a couple of days planned out on the North Fork. Hopefully the rain stays out most of the day, but might get wet this weekend. But hadn't wetted a line in a while, so I'm looking forward to doing that this weekend with some good buddies. So, yeah, that is the plan this weekend. Well, I guess we'll have some basketball. Let's see, they play tonight, then they'll go back to San Antonio. Game 5 would be when? Friday night or Saturday night?
I think it's Saturday. I think there's space, but I could be wrong. I'll look it up real quick.
Because they got to travel. There's a travel day and off day. I think game 5.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Saturday night. So that'll give us something to do after fishing on Saturdays. Is watching Spurs and the Knicks. So and then it's they flipped the format, so it's 2-2-1-1-1. I remember the old days it was 2-3-2 because it seemed like they were always traveling from L.A. to Boston. It seemed like when I was a kid. So I'm looking forward. I'm excited about watching these games. And right now, there's nothing else on. I guess we can watch College World Series starting Friday. So that'll kind of consume most of the weekend. So looking forward to it. I am going to get by and see our folks at Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Looking forward to stopping in and seeing Jacob and Ashley and Cheryl and Clint and the whole gang over there. Great people that always do a great job of taking care of you. If you're thinking about a summertime vacation, a summertime getaway, now's the time to book. 870-431-5202 is their number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com on your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
So think, what if we have 3 or 4 or 5 guys playing like Billy plays?
Back to Billy. Away. He throws it down with one hand. How about that? Billy!
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom. Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Tune into June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for 80 years strong.
Well, the Arkansas Diamonds had game number 2. It was a long road trip to Wisconsin to take on another great opponent in Arena League, and now it's a road trip to Monroe, Louisiana this week. Coach Bones Bagante joins us now. Coach, that was a long road trip, but a great win and probably a fun ride home.
Yeah, man, we're actually just getting back, but it was a great win against a tough opponent, and anytime you can get a professional win on the road, man, we'll take it no matter how it looks.
32-30, exciting game. Tell me about some of the stars of the game for you, as I know Jordan Ambrose had a great game, 21 of 38.
Yeah, Jordan Ambrose had a decent game, man, but we've seen better games from him. You know, our offense stalled a little bit, and we're still working out the kinks. But, you know, we had Aaron Dillworth, a vet, step up. We had Isaac Zico step up. We had Vincent Hobbs with some big catches and some big blocks. Also with Lou Dorsey. Also our addition with Martez Carter, a.k.a. Meatball. He came up with some huge highlight blocks to help us in that pocket. And defensively, we had the Darian Primes and Tyler Hunt doing their thing out there, man. And the defense is what we owe that win to, honestly, because to hold a team to under 30 points or 30 points in arena is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lower scoring game by arena standards. Hey, tell me this, because just learning your game, you had 316 total yards. What's more important, or does it matter game to game? Is it more about moving the ball through the air and passing yards or rushing yards? What do you value more in your game?
I mean, it just depends on what's making the most sense for us. You know, if we can run the ball all day, we'll run it. If we can pass all day, we'll pass it. As you can see, last game, we had to do a little bit of both, and passing helped us a little bit more than running, so we just stuck to that. But it's all about what we can find our groove in.
All right, 1-1 now on the year and a much shorter road trip before you get back home. This week, it's Monroe, Louisiana. Much more manageable travel for you this week. Tell me about your opponent as you head a little bit south, just across the border to Monroe.
Yeah, so we're going just across the border to Monroe. It's not that far. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump. We're gonna head out, be out there, make sure we're out there Friday morning and take care of our business. But our opponent is a good opponent. Our whole side in the South Division is 1-1. Everybody is 1-1 and lost 1. You know, opposite of the North Division where you have Nebraska and St. Joe sitting at the top at 2-0, and then you have Eau Claire and Iowa at the bottom and 0-2. But this game can change week to week. You know, no one can really have a stronghold on anything in this arena game.
Yeah. All right. So on the road, then you finally get back home. You had your first game at home, 2 on the road. Then finally you'll be back at home next weekend to take on the Lunkers. That game's going to be at 7:05. People can purchase their tickets for next weekend right now at ArkansasDiamonds.com.
Yes, they can, and I hope they do, and I hope they come out and support. We're giving our all out there. You know, season didn't start how we wanted it, but it's going to end how we need it to end.
There you go. Bank OZK Arena in Hot Springs this Friday night on the road in Monroe, Louisiana. Next Saturday, June the 20th, at home for another one of 4 home games. 3 home games remaining, 7:05 at Bank OZK Arena. Coach, good luck on the road in Monroe, and we'll catch up with you next Wednesday and report on the Arkansas Diamonds.
Can I say one thing, last thing?
Come on with it.
It's my mom's birthday today. Just want to give her a big shout out. I love you, Mom. Happy birthday, and God bless.
All right, man. Take care, Mom. Coach, good to talk to you. We'll do it next week.
All right. See you then.
All right, Coach Bones Bagante. It's been a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Halftime is next.
Great. Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big National Sports Apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the